Hello and welcome back to the channel. What do you want to talk about? Want to talk about some books? Let's do it. That's why you're here. We are going to do a little mid-year book tag. Heck yeah, I've seen so many other creators doing this, and I thought, how absolutely fun would it be to go through and talk about some of the best books, the worst books, the most fun books, all of the books that I have read so far in 2025. I have read 52 books this year. That means we have plenty of options, and I have quite a few different questions I want to get through. So we're gonna do this a little bit rapid fire, but still grab a snack, grab a drink, and let's dive on into things because we got a lot to get through, shall we? Now, I know some creators will say that they are not going to double up on things, but that is just nope, I can't. Some of these are just so good for so many different options that if we're gonna double up, we're gonna double up, and that's fine. Yes, that's kind of like a precursor, let's say, to the first one that probably will make more than one appearance, the best book you've read in 2025. Starting things off with a bang. And that is none other than, of course, it's Sunrise on the Reaping. Is that even a question? Actually, maybe it is a question. Because, okay, so I have the dust jacket because my husband's currently reading it. But Onyx Storm came out this year. Oh, that feels like a lifetime ago. This left me with too many questions. I have too many questions from this. I'm still sticking with this. Sticking with this, best book that I've read so far in 2025 is this, hands down. No questions asked. Easy. Up next, we have best sequel that I have read so far. Now, I could do a reread and that'd make things really easy, but I also am only at book 2 on this one and caught up in the series. So I think we're gonna have to go with Love Unwritten by Lauren Asher. This is just it was one of those things where I loved the first book so much, but I knew the second was gonna be better. I just could feel it, and then it was, and it was so satisfying. And the third book comes out later this year, so I'm excited about all the things. Lorenzo. No, that's the third book. It's Raphael, it's Ellie. I knew I loved the first book. Don't get me wrong. I rated it 4, but really I probably should go back and just rate it a 5 stars because it was so good. But I knew I didn't rate it as high because Love Unwritten was going to be so good, and it was. So sequel, Love Unwritten, Lauren Asher. Then up next we have a new release you haven't read yet but wanted to. If you have watched any of my videos, you know it is obviously going to be Shield of Sparrows. I have all of those backwards and that's gonna throw me off. Anyway, Shield of Sparrows. I have seen so much hype around this book. I just know that I'm going to love it, and I keep wanting to get it. I keep throwing it on a TBR list and I keep grabbing it off the shelf. But I think I am more of a fantasy in the fall kind of reader, especially just because how much of a mood reader I am. In the summer, I want the cute, fun beach reads. And so I know that I will get to this. I know that this is going to be an amazing book when I get to it. I'm just probably not gonna get to it till fall, I'm starting to realize. But one of the most anticipated books that a book that I have not read yet, absolutely wanted to, that is a new release, came out a couple months ago. Now, obviously we talked about Love Unwritten, which brings us to the next book, which is the most anticipated book for the second half of the year. Duh, number 3, Love Arranged, Lauren Asher. We get Lorenzo, we get Lily. She has started releasing some of the promo videos and stuff for it, and the hype socials for it is coming out, and I am so excited. I am so excited for this book. I am so obsessed with all of her writing right now. I need to go back and read the rest of her backlog, and I know she has an F1 series out that I think would be really cool. One of my friends has started to recommend some F1 stuff, and I'm super excited to get into that too. And I just know it's gonna be good. So I'm far too excited for that. Absolutely. Then we have the biggest surprise. Now, everywhere that I have seen people do good surprises and bad surprises. I personally am going to do a bad surprise because I thought I was absolutely going to devour this book. I thought it was going to be in my top 10 for the book of the years. Obviously, I was going to eat this up. I was so excited for it. It started strong. And then by the end of it, I just didn't care. I didn't really care about it. I wanted to know what happened. I just didn't care how we got there. The favorites. I have a feeling this is one that I may come back to and listen to the audio while I do a reread and do an immersive read for it. Because the more hype that it gets around it, I just can't believe that I didn't like it. So unfortunately, yes, this is going to fall under the biggest surprise for me. And I do want to get back to it again when I do like maybe some reread type stuff. Rereads are hard because like I just have so many other books that I want to get to, then why am I rereading stuff? That being said, I already did reread The Summer I Turned Pretty before the 3rd season comes out, so like we are doing rereads. I don't know. I just know that this was the biggest surprise for me because I thought I was going to devour this book, and I gave it like a solid 2 stars. Then up next is favorite author, debut, or new to me. I have been trying to read more authors and not just be like, I still have my auto buys, obviously. Emily Henry, Abby Jimenez. The minute they drop something, I'm going to be grabbing it. Grabbing it. Actually, I can't even say that because Emily Henry, while yes, she's an auto buy as soon as it turns to paperback. And I may have to start that with Abby Jimenez because there's something about a romance book that I want it to be a paperback. And so I may have to start like revamping that. Anyway, that's off track. New artists, not old artists. New artists to me, Laura Stephen, Our Infinite Fates. I have not read anything by her. I don't even know, this might be her debut novel. I'm not sure, but absolute 5-star read. This was like the most solid, pure 5-star read that like, it wasn't necessarily a 6 or 7 for me, but I mean like, it's gorgeous. It's just a stunning cover, but absolutely 5-star read for me. I loved it. I understand the comparisons to The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. While I do think that one is better, that is like one of my god tier books, this one was so good. Absolute 5-star. Laura Stephen will be starting. I will be picking up more from her, 100%. Up next, newest fictional crush. Okay, so I'm like kind of surprised by this and like obviously pleasantly so because he's not a fantasy boy. And typically most of my like really top tier book boyfriends are fantasy guys. It's gonna be Hutch. It's gonna be Hutch from the Love Haters. He's a Coast Guard boy. He has this dog that is just phenomenal. I loved this book. I was so excited to get to read this as an e-arc before it came out. And like, maybe that's part of why I love it so much, but like, I loved this. I devoured it. It was so fun. And Hutch was just, yep, absolutely. Absolutely Hutch. Then up next, we have the most beautiful book I have bought. Okay, so there's like a couple different options for this and I'm gonna try to keep it to like newer releases for this, which is why I did the thing and I bought the UK version of this because I knew I was gonna be so excited. And even if it's not a 5-star book, like she's an auto-buy author for me, it is Atmosphere. Look how stunning this book is. The papers. That galaxy is just, I'm like beyond in love with the UK version of this. And come on now, you know, it's signed. It's signed. Yeah, this is easily the most beautiful book that I have purchased or received this year. This is stunning. I cannot wait to read this. I'm so obsessed. I'm so obsessed with that book. Okay. All right, for the next book then, we're going to do book that I need to read by the end of the year. And this is obviously going to be One Golden Summer by Carly Fortune. I have heard nothing but phenomenal things about this book. And since I am so deep into my summer reads era here, we are almost into July. I have just been like loving a good summer romance already and I want to keep that going. And so like this is a must read. I need to get to it. I have read Every Summer After, absolutely loved it. I am probably going to do a reread of it and still read. I know that the middle 2 books are not connected, but I still want to read them before I continue on. So I am going to do Every Summer After, Meet Me at the Lake, the 3rd one that I always forget, and then One Golden Summer. They're going to be quick reads, so like it's going to be fine, but I am absolutely going to read and get caught up on her by the end of the year. I just need to. I absolutely need to because I have just heard so many raving reviews about One Golden Summer, even if you didn't like Every Summer After, and I love that one, so I can only imagine how much better that's going to be. Charlie may also be a really solid contender for New Book Boyfriend, from what I've heard. Up next is how many 5-star reads I've had this year. Now, I will say, I know that I am fairly liberal with a 5-star. I love a good book. I love a book, so like it's not that deep to me either is the thing. No, not all of these are like 6, 7, 8 god tier books. And I did a couple rereads this year. I reread The Summer I Turned Pretty. I did my 4th wing reread in the beginning of the year. And I've done some like nostalgia reads as well. I read the manga for Fangirl, which was like super nostalgia for me. And that's like 4 books right there. So out of the 52 books I've read, 21 of them have been 5-star reads. Sorry. And obviously the 52 does not count DNFs because I have had a couple DNFs. But yeah, we've had a good reading year. I love a good book. What can I say? I know that there are creators that I follow that have had like 2 5-stars, and that's wild to me. Cause like, if I can get engrossed in a story, it's just not that, I just love it. I love a good book. So 25 stars. I may have to rethink that a little bit. But when you have like 3 Fourth Wing, 3 The Summer I Turned Pretty, 4 manga of Fangirl, that's 3, 6, 7, 8, 9. Like that's 10 right there that you know are gonna be 5-star reads. So I'll cut myself a little bit of slack, but the second half of the year, probably gonna be a little bit more like condensed on all the 5 stars. Up next, we're gonna talk some controversy, right? Here we go. We're gonna talk about a book that I loved that had mixed reviews. I have seen nothing but mixed reviews on this. Some people can't stand that it's even a book. Some people absolutely loved it. I enjoyed it. I thought it was a fun read. I had a good time with it. I can't wait for the next book. This is like a solid 4-star book. It's just a fun, good little time. I don't think it was marketed correctly, but that's not the author's fault. That's not the fault of the book. That's marketing. That's different. And so I thoroughly enjoyed this. I loved it. 4 stars, Silver Elite, such a fun little read. And I enjoyed it, but yeah, I mean, the reviews everywhere on TikTok were just completely mixed about it. So I enjoyed it. I had fun. And then I just want to note a couple like 5-star predictions for the rest of the year. I get really like nervous with that because I don't want to get like disappointed and then get in a reading slump with things. But I know there are a couple that probably are pretty solid contenders. The first one is obviously Atmosphere. I've been so excited for this book for so long, but like probably going to be a 5-star for me. Just, I know the author. I've heard other people talking about this already, and like probably, yeah, pretty easy 5-star read for me. And then the other one being Shield of Sparrows. Now I know this one might not be just because fantasy is still a newer genre for me, but like with the way that I've heard everybody talking about this, I'm pretty confident it's gonna be a 5-star. Just pretty confident it's gonna be a 5-star. These two I know for sure, you know, can be pretty confident. And then of course, Love Arranged. Love Arranged, Lauren Asher, duh, that's another 5-star, like easy peasy lemon squeezy, I already know. So there you have it. It is the middle of the year. I just wanted to come on and do a little mid-year book tag. I know most people do it in June, but like you still have to get through the end of June. That's still the end of the middle of the month. That's month 6. So I wanted to do it in July. That is my mid-year book tag. Let me know in the comments some of the answers to your favorites. What was your favorite book of the month? What or book of the first half of the year? What books are you excited to read in the second half of the year? Let me know. Let's talk about them. And I can't wait to see you in the next one. Make sure you like, subscribe, do all the things so that you never miss a video. We're trying to get one out every other week, but you know, life. So make sure you like and subscribe so you don't miss one. Thanks.